Hello and welcome to Red Fox Classics, where we have an upside down GT6 Mk2, or on its side. So everything that we could do now with the car on its chassis is finished. So it was time to get this turned over, because there's plenty of stuff to do on the bottom, plenty of stuff to do that was really awkward when it was on the chassis. So let's see how this went, and then while we get on with some more welding. Now this episode we're getting the car turned over. First job there though is to build another rear support for, well, another support for the rear of the car, because this is what came with the Rotisserie, and it's for a Mark III GT6 or Mark IV 1500 Spitfire, and it's not going to work. So I've got this old piece of bed and that's going to be the basis of the new one, which is going to do the same thing but have angled brackets that are the right spacing for these. So I'm going to mount it through the bumper, mount holes. I spent some time getting these things in, the bumper irons, and I had to fiddle about with this side because I get either where I've put the floor or where the valance was put or something, it wasn't quite the right shape. So anyway, we get that trimmed up and find something to do those equivalent parts. Start cutting some metal. Well, this ugly bumper is going to help me lift this up, or rather turn it over. So, it's an old bit of bed, some angle iron that used to be part of the greenhouse, or a greenhouse bed, and more bits of bed. And then that's the rotisserie I bought. What I did do wrong is I didn't notice that actually those two vertical bits aren't parallel, so I can't actually move this to any of the lower notches because the bits are too tight. But yeah, whatever. So tomorrow I'm going to take the body off. Well, probably tomorrow. Next you see, anyway. So, step one of getting the body off is getting the engine out. And I just knocked up a thing out of some bits of timber left over from housework. Housework, you know, they wouldn't work. Because I haven't wanted to stick it on the stand just yet. It's a bit easier to shove in a corner like this. Oh, I still need to shuffle more stuff around because I'm really going to need two widths worth of car, or 2 cars worth of width to be able to get this off and on the stand. Yeah, so I'll move more things again. So my radiator's in an interesting state there. So I tried to lift this once and failed because it was really back heavy. When I took the body off the first time, I wrapped a strap around here, and that was the result, so I didn't do that again. So I eventually thought I can put the front bar of the rotisserie on and lift on that. And then I got 2 ratchet straps, so I should be able to adjust and pick it up centrally. So let's see what happens. Well, I'm not quite done playing Giant Meccano. If you remember, I said when I built this I hadn't realised these weren't parallel, so my tabs weren't going to fit in the highest holes. Well, I needed the highest holes. Anyway, I think it's in the position it's going to work now, at least. And it just needs, well, everything needs tightening up because it's all loosely bolted. But there's a bit that joins the front and back. But I'm not sure I'm going to manage to get that on with the crane there. Might be interesting. Well, it's on, and it works. It's been a bit of a job though. And I have firmly decided that I am not even attempting to do this when the body is painted. I'm going to paint the underneath, put it back in the chassis, and it will go to paint like that, because this would destroy paintwork, I'm sure. Anyway, that's all ready, so there's plenty of work to be getting on with. And we'll see quite what it looks like underneath. It should be not too terrible. There's a sneak preview. So we're upside down, or sideways rather. Plenty of work to be getting on with, because of course there is. But I'm going to start with the boring stuff first. Looking round, there's loads of little bits, like, you know, I've missed a spot of welding here, there, you know, all along the top. All this one's grinded down. Same here, this one's grinding. This middle bit needs finishing. Well, that might be a bit more. We'll do, I'm going to have to fabricate something for that, so we'll do a bit more detail on that. But I'm just going to go through and start tidying up all the edges that need finishing. And then when we've got something more interesting to get on with, we'll do more video. Sadly, the handbrake cable's knackered, so that's going to the bin. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. So I've been working along here. I've been trying to be systematic and not get distracted. Not quite succeeding. Still some pinholes. just done these welds along the bottom, and I'm really glad I did wait and do it now, because it's been annoying me it not being finished, but this was considerably easier than trying to do it on the other side. And you can see these are actually quite nice welds versus here where it was really pretty awkward. Distraction, I was welding here and it just kept blowing through, so I decided to cut out the bigger bit, and then I realised if I was going to do that I'd have to fix this too, so I'm starting making a little bit, but I have mostly finished what I started. And I also think I might make some proper ends for these, because why not? I think it'll bog me if I don't, because you can see they need to go much closer to the edge than I've done down here. Now all the bottom section's done, and that little bit's fitted in here. I decided not to do anything more with these ends. I just used the special panel alignment tool and welded them up. And yeah, next, fill in that hole. And then I think we can call this bit done, except for that. And to finish up for this video, let's have a look at this, which often, or almost always, is impossible to see because of the position right on the middle of the car. And this is a key part of the handbrake mechanism. That's the handbrake cable to go into the lever in the car. That splits and they go to our rear wheels. Now obviously that is knackered. So what we're looking for is for this to be at a particular angle when the handbrake lever is down. Because then when we pull the handbrake, we want this to move a certain amount and pull the rear cable. So, and this is called the relay lever in the manual. And you can see when we refit it, this is the handle. So we're looking at this as if it was from the top. So this is mirrored. So the angle between that point and that point needs to be 15 degrees when we put this back together. Now I found this easiest to do before, or least hard, by making a little template that you can just sit over and see where it goes. But for the moment, I'm taking this apart because, well, that needs replacing. And it's all disgusting. And the chassis, all the underbody needs painting. And that adjustment of this you're achieving by this main handbrake cable. Basically how far it is screwed in to the bit on the back of the handbrake lever. The clevis on the back of the handbrake lever. Anyway, shall we see if we can get any pins out. So, wash over there. All on the back. Again, washer, oops, on the floor. Washer where the split pin was riding. Did cheat and undo this earlier. Chunky bolt with a tab washer. It's got sort of rubber bush there. Since this is rubbish anyway, we can use the special Churchill brake pipe removal, or brake cable removal. These don't look too terrible, but I will check them before I consider reinstalling them, because that's one of the... So the small chassis cars are notorious for having bad handbrakes, but once you've made sure these are in good condition and the cleaver pins are in good condition and the brake shoes slide and everything, that they're all right. It's just everything's usually worn, very much worn, and hopefully that one could just slide up. Yep. So we've got a washer, then this big spring, and then a little clamp thing. Gets to get us tension there or not. This one looks alright, which is good. Yeah, that's just a ferrule. So all adjustment is on that end, which is the end that connects to the lever within the car. Well, there's a fibre washer of some sort there too. I shall have to find the parts catalogue and have a look at what's going on there. And for the moment, I think that's us done. So we've done all the work to turn the car over, which was quite considerable. Oops. And got the main bit of the floor pan sorted, excluding the front floor, which is a later job. And what's next is going to be to move towards the rear, finish up any grinding that needs doing, touch ups, finish welding the boot floor, and deal with how this section here fits, because at the moment it doesn't. So we're either going to have to modify the spring tunnel, or more likely modify the repro boot floor to get it to fit a bit better. Then it's a whole lot of cleaning and painting and doing the same with the chassis, because my intention is that this all gets painted, or stone chip painted, and then put back together, and then that's it. It's not coming off again. So if you want to see any of that, make sure you subscribe if you're not yet already. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.